me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. My name is Vicky Marie. As I say, I'm based in Spain, in Europe, and normally I talk about crime. I've come on this morning just to wish you all a happy Monday. Maybe make you laugh, tell you a little bit about my Monday so far, and it is only 20 past 10. I've got up this morning and decided I'm going to be positive because I saw the message from Jane Goodall, who is the guerrilla activist who unfortunately very sadly died just before the weekend. But, she was in her 90s. She had a fantastic life. She's left really good contribution to the world, a legacy, a fantastic legacy. If we can just leave some sort of legacy, even if it's just to our own family, our friends, just something nice that we've done. That's her message. So what she's done is she's recorded. She recorded before she died a message that could be played after she died. So when I got up this morning, that came up on my social media. I watched that. I felt great. I felt really positive. And then I took the dogs out. So what is wrong with people? That's the problem, isn't it? This world, all the weirdos around. Oh my God. Hi, Bluebell. Well, that's what I found this morning. So I've gone out this morning with my dogs to try to, I do think positive. I am a positive person in general, but, sometimes you just do get that. I'm watching that Jane Goodall video that we're going to watch in a minute. I just want to put up my little Miss Peopley. It's too Peopley out there picture up because it bloody is. It's people that do it, isn't it? Thing is, I think, you find in life, you find people that are like you, like on this sort of, and when I say a higher level, I don't mean more intelligent or better looking or richer. I'm talking about some people are on different levels, aren't they, like of consciousness? And, most of my chatters, I think we're all on a similar level of consciousness, like quite high, like we try not to, hurt people. We, try and live our lives as best we can. And the problem is that when you're like that, other people who are not on that higher level of consciousness, they affect you. That's what being like empathetic is, because you soak up. So you soak up good energies if you're around people with good energies. Like when I was watching Jane Goodall's video this morning, I felt bloody brilliant because I soaked up all that nice positive thing that came off that. And then I went out and took the dogs out and bumped into two people who were definitely on lower consciousness. And I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. And I thought, oh my God. And I was like going, I'm sorry, Jane, I'm just not as nice a person as you, because I was really annoyed. But the thing is, also, I was hungry. I hadn't had my breakfast. So that always makes me angrier. Anyway, let's start let me put this picture up and then I'll start from the beginning. Right. Yeah, little miss, it's two people here. Gosh, if it just wasn't for people, isn't it? Except for good people, there are good people and there are people that think the same as us and wouldn't, we wouldn't want to infringe on anybody or be nasty, unwarrantedly nasty to someone. But unfortunately, there are people out there, not nasty, just, I call it low on self-consciousness. They just don't, they're in their own little world and they don't think about what effect they're having on anybody else. And at the end of the day, we're all tied together, aren't we? So let's watch this video from Jane first that hopefully made me feel positive. I'm still positive. I've had something to eat now, but that was another story as well. So I'll tell you that story in a minute. Oh my God, it's like you just think, bloody hell. You know, this has happened to me before. Do you know what? I think sometimes, I think it's like God testing me, but I always fail. I've done it before. Think, right, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be nice to anyone. I'm not going to let other people affect me. I'm going to, you know, no matter what anyone says, what anyone does, I'm not going to rise to it. I'm just going to stay calm. And this, of course, is one of the principles of Buddhism as well. Stay calm in every situation. And whenever I think that, I just fail completely. So I think God tries to test me sometimes, and I always fail, I'm afraid. You know, I hold my hands up to it. I say always, not always, but generally. People do affect me. I wish they didn't. You know, I wish I could not be affected by other people. But anyway, let's look at this message first. What a lovely. Oh, so this apparently is a message that she recorded before she died to Netflix to be issued after she died. I think this is a new thing that Netflix are doing. I think it's a good idea because you can say things in it that you don't have to worry about upsetting anybody, do you? So you can tell the truth. So let's have a look. Come on.
Do you have people that you don't like?
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be the host.
So, yeah, Musk. This is another thing that I love about Jane Goodall. She has the same thoughts as me. So she'd like to take these people she doesn't like, put them in one of his spaceships that she said, and send him off to the planet he's sure that he's going to discover, which, of course, he isn't. I mean, imagine somebody having all that money and doing absolutely nothing constructive with it. But anyway, that's his choice. It's his money, but it's all wrong. It's all wrong. So it's nice to hear Jane saying it as well. So he'd be on this spaceship that she'd send off somewhere, and he would be my first choice as well.
And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump. And some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. And I would put President Xi. I'd certainly put Netanyahu in there.
Yeah.
And his far-right government.
All these middle-aged or elderly men dictating what happens in the world and failing miserably, not managing to unite the world, not managing to put out positive messages, just putting out messages of hate, war, you know, everybody arguing with each other. I feel like we've gone back in time. You know, I was thinking about it when I was young. It was a real time of hope, you know, like women were getting more recognised, ethnic minorities were tolerant of religions. We've gone back in time thanks to men like these, thanks to Trump, thanks to Netanyahu. And Xi, I don't know a lot about President Xi, but he's not much better, is he? You know, Musk spreading division, spreading hate, and just awful. I'm going to do a video about Elon Musk. I don't know if you know, but one of his sons is transgender, is a girl now. That's the reason why Musk hates transgender people, because she's been very successful in her own right. You know, I'm sure maybe in the beginning it helped having, you know, a billionaire father. But that's why Musk, he can't stand it, can't stand being out of control, can he? And because his son is now his daughter and is doing her own thing without and successfully, he can't stand it. So, yeah, I feel like we've gone back in time, you know, to the sort of 60s or whatever, when maybe there was more racism, more, you know, people couldn't be themselves, etc. In the 80s, when I was sort of, you know, young, if you like, in my 20s or whatever, just, there wasn't all this hate, wasn't the same. Anyway, and it's thanks to all these middle-aged men that are running the world. Middle-aged to elderly men.
All on that spaceship. Send them off. In the place where I am now, I look back over my...
Sorry, so this is the message, and I'm just going to play this without interrupting. This is the message that she's sending us all from beyond. I think it's very positive, lovely message. I'm so sorry, Jane, that I couldn't stick to it this morning, but anyway, I'll tell you about that later.
I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter.
Oh.
And that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we are part of the natural world. And even today, where the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. Above all, I want you to think about the fact that we are part, when we're on planet Earth, we are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down upon from where I am now.
Oh, so I watched that this morning. I literally cried because I just thought it was such a lovely message. So off I went with the dogs for a walk, because it was raining here yesterday, so it's lovely. I love it when it's been raining because it doesn't rain very often, and it wasn't torrential rain. It was normal, what I call normal rain, because here in Spain we do tend to have like one extreme to another. We go from extreme heat to torrential storms. Anyway, it wasn't like that last night. It was heavy rain, but it was normal rain. So it's really clear out there today. The air feels lovely. And I thought, I'm going to go for a long walk today. Take the dogs for a long walk. So off I went with Jane's message in my head, because I'm thinking, yes, what a lovely thing to say. That's right. We do have to have hope, and we can all make our, because sometimes I expect all of us have thought at some stage or another, what's the meaning of life? What are we here for? Etc. And Jane saying that, like, everyone can make a difference, just the fact that I remember sort of a saying from years ago that people used to say, if you want to know if your life mission is over if you're still alive, it isn't. If you're still here, you've got a mission, you just maybe don't know what it is. It might be a small thing, just looking after one of your neighbours who needs help, or you just don't know what you're here for. But you can make a conscious effort, to be nice to people, to do little small acts of kindness, etc. Now I'm not saying that I abide by that all the time. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when Jane said that, I thought, yes, it's true. You know, everybody can make a difference, even in a small way. And there is always hope. And, you know, we all have good days and bad days. Sometimes we think, oh, God, I can't do this all again. And then other days you have a good day and you think, oh, that was a nice day. So I went off to walk the dogs. Julie, sorry, I just want to comment on what Julie said. In the supermarkets. Oh my God, like The Walking Dead. Exactly, that's what I always say. You know, just people. I went to the I think I'm too sensitive though. Having said that, I think I think as you get older and you become more empathetic or more sensitive to atmospheres and to other people. There are people who don't. I've seen it in my classrooms a million times. There are people that sit in the classroom. There's a lot of other people in the classroom sometimes, and they don't even notice what's going on the other side of the room or whatever. You know, they're just so focused inwards, and I don't mean in a nasty way. They're just not aware and then there are other people who just can't even cope if somebody even says one word over the other side of the classroom. It's like, oh, I can't concentrate. You know, everyone's got a different level of sensitivity, you know, and some people don't even notice what's going on. I know that. And I was in the supermarket, the small supermarket in my village, was it yesterday, and there was an English family in there in front of me, and just straight away the vibes that I got off them, it was awful. I didn't even speak to them. They didn't do anything wrong, but it was just this aggression. The guy was like, I don't know, he was emanating. Do you ever get that with people? They emanate like a vibration that you just feel either comfortable or really uncomfortable with. It's like I felt on edge just standing behind this family in the queue at the supermarket. It wasn't even a queue, it was them and me. And there was just something. I just felt like something could happen. It's weird. Anyway, that was yesterday. Oh, so today, I take my dogs. Now, my little dogs, they are reactive dogs. You know, they're barkers. So I try and avoid other people when I go out. I mean, they're not aggressive, but they're better off a lead than they are on a lead. But of course, you can't always let them off a lead. I can let Rocky off a lead sometimes. I let him off for a little bit, but he will come back. But Riley, you can never let off a lead because he'll never come back. But I've noticed since he got attacked by our big dog, they have been even more reactive. You know, they've always been yappy. But you know, they're a bit more reactive anyway, so I try and avoid other people and other dogs as much as possible, and that's courtesy for them as well. You know, I don't want a big barking match at the campo, etc. So I'm there was nobody there at first. Where I go and walk my dogs, it's massive. So there's loads, you know, you don't have to ever see another person or come into contact with another person. And, you know, if I see somebody with dogs, if I pull up and there's somebody already there with dogs, I'll go to a different part of it. I always avoid, you know, confrontation with other dogs. You don't want to go out and have a big bark fest. So I sort of sat, you know, there was nobody there for a while. And then I saw a couple walking up with two. They looked a bit like greyhounds or lurcher dogs. And they just headed straight for me. And as I'm trying to move away, so I could see them coming up. So I started going a different way. And then they came that way. And everywhere I went, they headed straight for me. And in the end, I couldn't go any other way except back to the car, which would mean passing them because they were coming up the path where I was. Because it had been raining, there was other ways I could have gone, but I had sandals on and they were a bit muddy and wet, you know. So if I would have had my trainers on or boots, I would have just gone the other way. Why they didn't go the other way, I don't know. They were determined to go walk past me, which is like, you know, when you're trying to dodge someone, you think, all right, I'll go up there. And they started going up there. So they thought, all right, I'll go that way, get away. they followed that way. Whichever way I went, they were aiming straight for me. So they were deliberately trying to walk past for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe they thought they'd have a conversation, maybe they were nosy. I don't know why. So in the end, I had to just, because I couldn't walk any further because there were like workmen and that. Well, I couldn't get past them without going onto the mud. So I had to walk back to the car. But to walk back to the car, I had to walk past these people because they're coming straight for me. So predictably, guess what happened? Great big barking match. My dogs are barking because they walked like right past me as well. I'm thinking, how can I can't move out of the way anymore. So, oh God. And I was hungry as well. Bear in mind that I was hungry, so I hadn't had my breakfast. I just thought, there's something wrong with people. Why would you aim straight for someone? You know, that normally dog walking etiquette, unless you're at a dog park or, you know, where you're taking your dogs to socialise, people tend to stay away from each other, don't they? Hi, Angel. So that was, so anyway, I got back to the car. So my dogs, because they're sort of pulling on the lead, trying to get to these dogs that pass within bloody centimetre of us. I did say a few things to these people. I wasn't nasty. I just said, why have you aimed straight for me? You know, why did you not go a different way? I just don't understand why you had to, you know, you were determined to walk past us. Anyway, I think they were foreign, because I don't mean Spanish foreign, maybe Scandinavian, because, well, they didn't even register that I was speaking to them. They were like zombies. Talk about The Walking Dead. The woman was obviously like, wore the trousers. She's just walking. She just walked, and the man's like following behind like that. They never even acknowledged that I'd even spoken to them. I'm like that, and I can feel it rising up on me. I'm like, sorry, God, I failed again. Sorry, Jane, that lovely message you gave, and I got to come out within 5 minutes. I'm like, anyway, very weird, like a pair of zombies walking past with these dogs. I think what it is they're just thinking, right, we always go this way. We're going this way, no matter what. Okay, there's other dogs there who were there first, but we're going there, and that, you know, that's it. They're just like so rigid in their ways. They could easily have gone a different way. There's a million different ways you could go, which I would have done if they would have been there first. So that's what happened when I took the dogs out. So I came back and I'm like, deep breaths, calm down. Get some food inside you, because I do get hungry. I am not good when I've not eaten. So I was having eggs and mushrooms, scrambled eggs and mushrooms. So make it up and look at it. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, put some salt and pepper on it. So I've put some salt on it. When I've gone to put the pepper on it, somebody who will remain nameless, but there's only one other person who lives in my house, had taken the top off the pepper and put it back, but not put it back on properly. So when I shook the pepper onto my eggs and mushrooms, half a thing of pepper landed on top of him. So I had salvaged what I could, which was not much, and then make some more eggs. And now I've eaten, I do feel more like a human being. But I feel like I've had curry for breakfast, because I got most of the pepper out of the pan and everything, you know. But I thought, oh my God, you know what? These things are sent to test us, aren't they? Now I'm actually okay now because I've eaten. Even though it was, you know, have you ever had peppered scrambled egg and mushrooms? It's not the best breakfast you could have. It's not the best breakfast you could have, that's for sure. So, deviled eggs, or is that what deviled eggs is? Is that pepper? Oh my God. So it's happened before that, but it's happened with the salt. So every time before I put the salt on anything, I always make sure the top's screwed on properly, because number one, son, what he likes to do sometimes, I think if the salt's not coming out quickly enough for him, takes the top off and gets a pinch of salt, and then he puts the top on. He never screws the top back on properly. Same with Coke or any fizzy drinks or whatever. I have to go around checking that the top's screwed on properly, otherwise it loses all its fizz. Is that laziness or what? I don't know what it is. What is it? Not screwing the top back on properly. Anyway, that's the first time it's happened with the pepper. So I always remember to check the salt before I put it on anything. Just make sure the top's on properly, because I've done that before. I've cooked a whole meal, gone to put a bit of salt on it, and the whole bloody half a packet of salt has gone on it. So now I have to remember to do that with the pepper as well, because I was using like a pepper grinder, and it doesn't happen with that. But this is like, molida, it's called in Spanish, powdered pepper. So I don't know. So there you go. That's been my Monday morning so far. I've got to go and work in a minute. I've got classes. I'm quite looking forward to them, to be honest. Oh, dear me, nice students. Just to give me my sanity back. But yeah, every time I take my dogs out, there's a drama one way or another. It puts me off taking them out. I just, I love taking them out, especially when the weather's cool, like it was this morning, and fresh. The air's fresh because we've had quite a lot of rain. But, people always spoil it, don't they? I think we should listen to Jane one more time. I'm going to play that one more time because I want to leave you with that. And don't give up. A message of hope.
Do you have people that you don't like?
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be the host. And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump and some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. And I would put President Xi. I'd certainly put Netanyahu in there and his far-right government. Put them all on that spaceship and send them off. In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter, and that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we are part of the natural world. And even today, where the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. Above all, I want you to think about the fact that we are part, when we're on planet Earth, we are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down upon from where I am now.
Okay, so there you go. I just wanted to come on and speak to you all, to say happy Monday. Don't give up. New week ahead, and don't let the bar stewards grind you down. You know, they try, don't they? I don't think they do it deliberately. I don't know, that couple this morning. I don't know. I think some people are just oblivious, aren't they, to everything. They don't realise how they're affecting other people. I think that's it. We have to realise how we're affecting other people and try our best. I failed miserably this morning because I got annoyed with this couple, and I did tell them that I was annoyed with them. I should have just let it go. But anyway, let it go. I must remember to eat before I go out with the dogs in future, because the fact that I hadn't had any breakfast, even a peppered egg breakfast, is better than no breakfast for me, because you know, I do get really sort of naughty. There's a good northern word for you. I get really naughty when I haven't eaten. Just, you know, some people can not eat like for hours and doesn't affect them. It does affect me. It makes me really naughty. So yeah, so have a good day. I'll be back soon with another video. This time, you know, it'll either be an update on one of the stories we're following, or I've got a video in the pipeline. I think I'm going to change slightly the way I do things on my channel. I'll be telling you all about that as time goes. I like to cover stories that didn't get a lot of attention, or, you know, I think need attention, or need victims that need to be remembered, families that need help because they've never, you know, got closure maybe on their loved one, you know, their murder or disappearance. They're the cases that I want to talk about more than anything. So I will be doing a bit more of that, I think. Fewer lives. I'll always be doing the members' lives, but probably fewer lives. I mean, I will do lives when I can. I know a lot of people like the lives, a lot of people like the videos, you know, but I just got to think about, you know, it's very time consuming, which is okay. You know, I enjoy it. I mean, I don't do this YouTube channel or the other YouTube channel because I don't enjoy them. You know, don't spend hours and hours and hours, as you certainly don't do it for the money, because despite what people think, you know, it's very little money that you earn from YouTube, unless you're a massive, you know, YouTuber, like with loads of millions of followers. So I'm just going to keep plugging away, but yeah, and try and keep Jane's words in my head. Try my best, but do you know what? I am a human being. I fail miserably most of the time. I'm the first person to hold my hands up and say there's lots of things I do wrong, little things like getting annoyed with that couple today. I mean, you know, I didn't murder them or anything. I just like shouted at them, I suppose, because I just couldn't believe what they'd done. But that, you know, at the end of the day, even then, like when you get angry with other people, really, it's you that you sort of wind up, isn't it? You know, because they just weren't bothered in the least. They'll carry on doing that. Won't make any difference to them. But it made a difference to me because it peed me off after I was feeling all zen after listening to Jane this morning. So I let those people get to me. That's my fault, isn't it? Okay, have a good day. I'll see you very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.